This is episode 40 of the It Makes Sense series. The truth my story is really trying to tell you. So the purpose of this series goes beyond my story and how I rebuilt myself after losing the one identity I trusted. I made it to point out what life does to all of us. Because whether you grew up in a foreign country like I did, or you grew up in your own hometown, life has a way of shaping you in ways you never asked for. Some of us were forced to grow up too early. Some of us learned independence for the wrong reasons. Some of us mastered survival so deeply we forgot our soft side. And some of us built identities around things that were never meant to last forever. And when those identities fall apart, when the sport ends, when the chapter closes, and when the structure disappears, you think you're breaking. But you're not breaking. You're becoming. Everything I talked about from boarding school at 7 years old, being the outsider, living out of suitcases, the pressure of living and performing as a pro athlete overseas, retirement, music, Fit Makes Sense, It Makes Sense. All of it was life stripping away the versions of me that were built from fear, survival, and expectation, so that the version built from truth could finally show up. I discovered that you don't go back to who you were before the pain. You go forward into who the pain was shaping you to become. So my story isn't special because of what I survived. It's special because of what the survival revealed. It showed me that your identity is allowed to evolve, that your purpose is allowed to shift, your softness is allowed to return, your past doesn't qualify your future, and nothing in your story was wasted, not one chapter. The discipline from my childhood, the resilience from boarding school, the leadership from sports, the emotional depth from the transition, the creativity from music, and the purpose behind Fit Makes Sense all came from the same place: alignment. I realized life wasn't taking things from me, it was putting me back together. So if you're listening to this and you feel lost, confused, in between chapters, or feel like the world moved on and you're still trying to figure out who you are, listen when I tell you, you're not behind, you're not broken, and you're definitely not done. You're simply in the part of the story where the old identity dissolves so the real one can finally step forward. My life didn't make sense while I was in it, and I know that sounds a bit weird to say, but it only made sense when I realized the story wasn't about the chapters, but about who I became because of them. Hope you enjoyed the series. Make it make sense.